I'm Julia Holden-Hunkins, and I'm the director of Don Giovanni. Don Giovanni is a story about a wealthy Casanova who manipulates and takes advantage of everyone he has under his control. And one day he murders the Commendatore, who is a commander, a police officer. And after this, people start to wonder if Don Giovanni really is as put together as he seems on the outside. I was inspired to direct this show when I sang the part of Elvira in a production a few years ago. And I found that the world created by classic opera was too rigid to explore everything that Elvira was. I found her to be an explosive, passionate, emotional character, and yet while I was singing the beautiful music that is written for Elvira, I wasn't able to explore her character as much. And so I started daydreaming about directing my own production in which I could bring more weight to these amazing characters while still preserving this music that is so well written by Mozart. I think Don Giovanni is almost miraculously relevant right now in this time of the Me Too and Time's Up movement, because while the original Giovanni was a tale about religious piety and Giovanni straying away from the values of that rigid religious society, today it's about his abuse of power, which really has to do with the women in play. And so I wanted to bring light to the Me Too and Time's Up movements by showing how Giovanni neglects these basic ideas of consent and how he manipulates women and continues to get away with it, which unfortunately is something that we still see today. I have condensed the score and the script significantly from a 3-hour opera to a 90-minute one-act opera. And in the songs that I've chosen to include in this 90-minute adaptation, we see more of Elvira, more of Zerlina, and more of Anna, our primary female characters in the plot. So, with the bodies and the voices being separate, we have a lot of potential to show this idea and this feeling of voicelessness, which particularly relates to the women in this story. Notably, Zerlina is one character that I have seen depicted in some problematic ways in the past. And so I want to show her body juxtaposed with her voice on stage, and we see that what she is doing with her body and feeling is not what she is forced to say in this environment where being sweet and being kind to Giovanni is what keeps her job alive. I would say to opera purists that they should come give this show a chance, because this is my passionate attempt to keep opera alive. I believe in Mozart and I believe in classical music, but I think in order to make it accessible to an audience today, something needs to change, and we need to break away from these stereotypes that are locked into this music, while still preserving the beautiful score that Mozart has written. There's so much potential in seeing something with so much passion and emotion and just human capacity. And I think sitting in that audience, you might feel something that you need to feel, and that's really what the theater is for. So definitely come give it a chance. The genius of Mozart's music captured character so well and opened up a new way of storytelling that we've lost access to because we've forgotten how to really listen to music. So I'm hoping focusing more on the character and the humanity and being able to see actors embody this music, people will have access to hearing this score in a new way. The opera is struggling right now just because of its perceived elitism. You know, we picture going to the opera in a big ball gown and drinking your wine at intermission, and I mean, tickets are really expensive to go to the opera, and I mean, it's an incredible experience, but I'd like to break it down and have people realize that opera is for everyone, and that listening to opera is something that we can do while you're not wearing a big ball gown and sipping your wine, and that it can be something that everyone can relate to and listen to and feel. I think is something for everyone in this opera. The characters are very well written, and the story revolves around these sort of timeless topics of class struggle and gender struggle, and I think that anyone that will go will hear this music and feel something along with it.